council chambers, 6:45 p.m. We got 5 items on our agenda. First of which is proud FFA community signage. And I'll turn it over to our presenter, Engineer Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So staff was approached by the FFA alumni requesting to provide the city with some proud FFA community signs to mount onto our population signs as you enter the city limits. The signs are roughly 2 foot by 2 foot. And we've attached a photo of an example of that sign. They're requesting mounting to the Highway 210 sign by the airport, Highway 18 near the state hospital, and Highway 25 just south of Highway 18. They have a couple of locations they're working with the city of Baxter on the west end. So further, that staff has included a photo of kind of one of our current examples of a Brainerd population sign with all the other placards that go along with it. All signs have a 2014 blue ribbon elementary sign, and the 2 on Highway 210 included that faded Heart Safe community sign. So staff is recommending approval to go ahead with the installation of the 3 FFA signs as requested, and then to further remove the Heart Safe community signs, the ones that are faded from the Highway 210 assemblies, and can answer questions.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Any comments or questions on this item?
I have one.
Councilman Chezak.
What's the material made out of the signs? What material?
Typically aluminum.
Okay. You say typically is that you expect it to be that? You're not sure?
Yeah, aluminum sheeting and stuff. Yep.
Okay.
Kind of piggybacking on that same thing, I see it appears it's got the retro reflective paint on there. I don't know if paint is the right word, but it's got that retro reflective nature. So I mean, it should match. And also, a lot of these signs are on MnDOT right away. I mean, these are our signs, but we're modifying them in such a way. Do we have to?
No, MnDOT passes that down to us to what we want.
Sounds good. Any other comments? Yeah, Councilman.
I was a state of Colorado Creed speaking champ, so I do know that the opening line is that I believe in the future of farming with a faith born not of words but of deeds. And with that, I will make a motion to approve the FFA signs to be hung from our Brainerd population signs, and I so move.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have one comment.
Please.
I really appreciate the Future Farmers of America organization. I think they're absolutely magnificent. So that's my comment.
Thank you. I was going to make a comment as well. I think the same, and I'm going to support the motion. I was just going to say, too, I could see if we were getting a lot of these requests, we would have to maybe consider how we, decide who and what gets to be used, the municipal infrastructure. And I suppose you could make a strong argument that, we should maybe limit these to just a safety or a transportation purpose. But like I said, I'm going to support the motion. I think we've got great service organizations, and I think there's a community element too as well that that this serves. So I think it's going to be a good thing, and of course I'm going to support it. So with that, Jesse, you had a hand up.
If I could, Mr. Chair, ask for some additional clarification if you'd like to see the Heart Safe community signs stay or leave.
Thank you. The staff recommendation was not only to put up the Proud FFA community sign, but also to take down the Heart Safe community sign, which is faded and old.
I had a friendly amendment to that and followed staff's recommendation on that.
Thank you. Motion or second indicated?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Go to a vote. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, our second item is CASA 48 Cora Street Stormwater discussion, and also Engineer Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're a little early on this one from the council direction, but we were able to get the information that council was asking for. So we reached out to Crow Wing County, Baxter, and Reichert regarding the request to discharge stormwater from the east side of Highland Scenic, as it is currently over to the west side of the roadway on a private property. We've detailed a summary of the responses that we received from all 3 entities. As a quick reminder, based on what's in the agenda item, Crow Wing County would not participate in the cost of these efforts. Reichert does not have an interest in providing a stormwater drainage easement on their property. And then finally, Baxter would require a design, stormwater port, and an agreement as well as some other details included in their email. We did include that email as a response to council to just detail out what their requirements are. If council wishes to advance this work to explore alternative options, council should provide an award to one of the 3 proposals received, noting that staff is recommending award to HR Green for this study. Based on all the information received, staff's recommendation is no further action is taken, but will follow the council's direction if there is a desire to explore these alternatives further and work with an awarded consultant on the study.
All right, thank you, Jesse. I'll bring it back to the committee for discussion, comments, or questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Councilman Chesak?
We have stormwater. It's in that easement. Where does it originate from? You know?
Jesse?
The stormwater that drains into that easement specifically comes from a chunk of southwest Brainerd, mostly from southwest 6th to the west, and portions of CASA 48, almost to where it intersects with Laurel Street.
So it's actually coming from a street with curb and gutter, and it's going into that easement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where you have curb and gutter on the streets, why isn't the storm sewers we have on those streets capturing that water, do you know?
It does. The curb and gutter drains to storm sewer facilities, which then runs through the trunk main under CASA 48 into the drainage easement.
So the water coming off of our streets is going into that easement, and from there it just filters into the natural environment?
Yes, sir. It infiltrates through that area.
Okay. All right, that's all I got, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Any other comments, questions? So,
Oh, if I may?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just, is that, so there is no specific stormwater pond that's been built or anything like that to get that water into a different location where it doesn't infringe on the people's property along Annebeck Street there? That's just the way it is? That's how it was planned? That's the whole idea there? Is that how that is proposed to function?
Generally, yes. The area that it's draining to the easement is a natural low point, and the county platted that as a drainage easement when that plat was first done. Nothing, as far as I understand, has been engineered in there.
And then it indicates that at some point in the future that it'll remain a easement until there's a storm sewer piping developed, if I'm not mistaken, on the plat map.
The plat map notes that the easement reverts back to the owner when proper storm drainage lines have been installed.
Okay, kind of what I said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it reverts back to the owner. So that property there, then the owner does not actually own it, as far as I think Mr. Bullock specifically has like 300 feet deep property, but there's a couple hundred feet of that is the easement. Is that about right, on an average, pretty much?
Generally, so he does own the property.
Okay.
But the easement is held over the property. It's very similar to a utility easement that runs through somebody's property. They still own that property. They just can't typically install like a permanent structure over the top of it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Jesse.
So I was just gonna weigh in. I mean, I'd like to see us do something here. I think it's clear that I don't think the county's gonna release the easement, and it's the county's easement, it's not our easement. We do utilize it, hence the maintenance agreement. But as far as you know, as was kind of brought up, you know, it's just simply natural environment that's being utilized and nothing's been engineered there. Are there solutions? I guess a question for you, Jesse, and we've kind of gone round and round about this, but aside from hiring one of these consultants to do a study, is there, can we just dig this out further? I think you've alluded to in the past, it's more complicated than that, but I mean, would that, Mr. Bullock has referenced the debris that builds up. Would a solution like that solve this, at least that portion of it?
Excavation is an option. The challenge is we haven't done survey or engineering to determine what expanse would have to go into that. How much deeper would we have to go into it? How much, I mean, you can't just dig straight down. You'd have to bench and slope that out kind of naturally to tie in. So would that have ancillary property impacts? You have property just to the south of there that's privately owned, that's right on the edge of the existing slope. So if you were to deepen the existing one to kind of match in, you'd have to encroach on the southern property, similar to the eastern property that's not already currently owned in drainage easement. So there's other effects that excavation would have. So we'd want to get a design and study done just to make sure not only is the work going to be effective and control the stormwater to what the council's looking to achieve, but to see what impacts to adjacent properties that don't currently have a drainage easement would have, and explore those with those property owners.
No, thank you. And I guess this gets to the point that I made at the last time we met was, you know, our past staff has looked at this, current staff has looked at this. You know, I think at this point, we're either gonna do nothing and leave it as is, or, you know, like I said, our past staff has looked at this, current staff has. I think we need to probably hire consultants to take a look at it and see what our options might be if we're going to do something. Otherwise, it's probably just gonna stay the way it is, and it's, again, it's not our easement, but we, you know, through the maintenance agreement, we contribute to it. So, any thoughts on that? I mean, I don't know, you know, we really don't know what the potential fixes could be at this point without further study. And so we've got, you know, we've got these bids. We could, I guess, in my opinion, I'd be comfortable moving forward with one of the bids. One, be doing our due diligence to finding out, you know, what could possibly be done. Maybe at that point, we will still be faced with the same question, though. What are we gonna do at that point? And, but at least we would know the lay of the land a little better, literally, and also understand some further options.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would make a motion that we move forward with a recommendation to the council to use the recommended engineering firm that staff has put before us. I forget the name.
It was H.R. Green, correct?
HR Green. That's my motion.
Thank you. No motion. Is there a second? I will second it. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, take it to a vote. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
And motion carries. Thank you very much. Move on to our third item, which is design service contract and selection of a general contractor. And turn it over to Chief Holmes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening. Before you tonight, for your consideration, is the design services proposal from Wood Seth and the selection of a general contractor for the renovation of Fire Station. Throughout 2025, we've been working with Wood Seth to complete the initial planning and design phase for the 2026 Fire Station renovation. Wood Seth has established a comprehensive scope of work, project schedule, and preliminary budget. I'll just go through a few updates on the project as we go here. So I'll just give you some history of the project, our priorities, and then kind of where we're at as far as moving forward. In 1983, the original structure was built, the fire station at 23 Laurel Street. In 2022, we added to the northeast a training room and some bathrooms. If you recall, in 2018, we did a facility study of all city facilities, including the 2 fire stations. As we move forward in 2025, we started with just some preliminary ideas, established a general budget. Also in 25, we completed the conditional use permit and variance process to ensure that the site location was feasible for the for the proposed project. Throughout this year, we've worked with WIDSEF to complete some construction drawings so that we could do a general contractor's request for qualifications. And then just to remind you of the priorities of the project, obviously firefighter health and wellness is a top priority, along with the efficient use of our space in the current location. We want to focus on separating the dirty areas and the clean areas, make sure that we have proper ventilation. One of the key pillars of recruitment is a facility that motivates firefighters to be at the station, not only when they're responding to calls, but also in their time off, such as working remotely, potentially working out, or just in between their other appointments, just encouraging them to be at the station. Decontamination, making sure that we have clean gear and equipment, and then the proper storage of equipment. The new design has areas for decontamination and then specific areas for the storage of clean turnout gear. This next slide here just depicts kind of the clean area versus the dirty area that I talked about. So where we're at now, like I mentioned, we did the CUP and the variance process. We've completed a survey of the site. Survey indicated the bluff and the river area, and that's what required the variance and the conditional use permit. Here's a picture of the current site plan with the renovation overlaid. With the expansion and the addition of space, there's only a little under a 2% increase in impervious surface. This is the first floor proposed plan. It adds about 4,200 square feet, mainly in the apparatus space, storage for turnout gear, and a little bit in the office space on the southeast corner area, southeast side. This is a slide of the addition of the mezzanine space. The mezzanine adds about 2,600 square feet. It'll be a mechanical mezzanine with storage and also a fitness area on the east side. Here's a day version of a possible rendering of the renovation. Nighttime look at it. So to advance the project, WIDSEF has submitted design services proposal. This phase encompasses design to development, the preparation of construction documents, facilitating bidding, and the construction administration throughout the whole project. Building upon the planning work completed in 2025, we recently conducted an interview of 2 general contractors. An interview panel comprised of myself, City Engineer Dean, and BPU Director Sandy, along with Mike Anglin from WIDSEF, evaluated 2 local firms. Both firms were great candidates and demonstrated qualities and a strong commitment to the project. The panel recommends Northside Construction as the best fit for this project. With the formal selection of a general contractor, this project will quickly transfer into bidding and procurement process. To ensure the cost, certainty, and administrative efficiency, the contractor will collaborate with WIDSEF through the Gordian Easy IQC process. This is an established cooperative purchasing framework allowing for the development of a firm project price based on preset competitive bid cost to ensure that we receive maximum value and full transparency in the final cost of the project. The proposed project schedule consists of construction starting in mid-April with project completion ending at the end of 2026, early 2027. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
All right, thank you very much. Are there any comments or questions? Jeff, you have a hand up?
If I could, Chief, you say that was built in 84?
Yeah, 83 and 84, yeah.
Okay. And based on the new addition, what kind of work are you anticipating in the future on the original structure? Was there anything looked at regarding that, based on it being over 40 years old now? Or 46 or 42 years old?
You're gonna have to clarify your question a little
Okay,
bit.
so you have an original building there built in 1983, 84. It's 42 plus years old. Did you look at the existing structure? Is there any foreseen improvements to be made on that coming up in the next 5 or 10 years that you're aware of?
Yeah, so the whole project incorporates all of that, new HVAC, new mechanical, electric, plumbing. The east side is essentially demoed and rebuilt.
Okay.
And then the addition on the northwest side is new construction.
Okay, so roofing and that type of thing will be all?
Correct,
Okay,
yeah, correct,
all right.
yep.
And then how far would you say the footprint is moving towards the river? How far west of that new addition?
So the new addition doesn't go any further in any impervious surface than already exists.
Okay,
So it's parallel or follows the side of the building to the north.
okay, all right.
Answer your question, Jeff?
I think so, yep. Thank you.
Councilman Yeager?
Thank you. Just quick question, please. So it sounds like this is a little bit of a hybrid system, but with using my question is how the Gordian system and where it's being put in. So we hired Widseth as or the recommendation is to hire Widseth for the design services and Norson for the construction. But then you also mentioned Gordian. And so I'm curious about what portion of the total project Gordian is being slipped into. Is it just electrical? Is it all subs and vendors, all trades? So of the total 100%, how much of that is actually going to be Gordian, the domain of the Gordian system, if that makes sense? And you may not know that. I don't mean to spring this on you, but.
Paul might be able to.
Yeah, so 100% of the project will go through the Gordian process. So the reason we're able to use the Gordian process is we select that general contractor up front, and then all of their subs and their own self-performed work needs to go through that process of pricing, the book review, and then finally solidifying the guaranteed price.
Okay, that was going to be that's my question. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
That's all.
Thank you, yeah, both good, really good questions.
Could you just give us the cost again? So,
380 even, according to the,
380 is for the design services contract with Widseth. Once we establish a general contractor, then Widseth will work with that general contractor on the bidding, and they'll come back with a price for the project, and then we'll come back to council with that.
do we have a budgeted amount for that, or a anticipated budget amount? or-
$5.5 million.
5.5, okay. I just wanted that so people listening know that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
any other comments, questions, discussions? I had one just more procedural question. When we take action on this in committee, and this goes to council, are you wanting to kind of go through this as well? Because I'd make a motion, I'd summarize it, I could turn it over to you to go through this if
We
you'd like, or,
Certainly don't have to, no.
okay,
Whatever you're comfortable with.
sure. And I think most of council has seen this at workshops, so maybe unless there's a question or a request to do that, I'll just plan to summarize it. But
I think the chief said so good, he should do it
I
again.
got one more quick question.
Thanks.
it was very good. Councilman Yeager has another.
Mr. Kramvik, does all of this project, plans, lighting, all of that pass through planning commission also? Or is it?
It did.
Okay.
If there's any changes to lighting, I'll review
Okay.
that as part of the final
Understood.
project, but
And but I'm-
conditional use permit and variances have all passed through there.
Yep, got it. Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right, thank you. Well, hearing,
I'd move forward, Mr. Chair, with staff's recommendation to present this to the city council for approval.
thank you. Motion, is there a
Yep,
second?
second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, chief.
Brings us to our fourth item, solicitation of pool engineering services. And I believe this is Public Works, or PUC Director Sandy, excuse me.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this item came before the city council back on January 20th. After that, we took a couple comments from the city council related to limiting the pool services contracts to a maximum amount of $500,000, and also the term, the length of the pool period being for 2 years rather than the original stated 5. We have made those updates to the proposed solicitation document. This document did go in front of the Public Utilities Commission and Park Board at their meetings on January 27th. Both bodies elected to keep moving this process forward, and that's why you guys are seeing this again tonight for one last review, any questions or anything from staff. And then we would plan on soliciting this document out, if approved by the council tonight, to interested engineering firms for those 15 pool categories. With that, I don't think, I'm not going to go through the whole process again here, but if there's any questions from the committee, I can certainly answer those at this time.
All right, thank you. Paul, questions, comments? I think we've discussed this one out at length at our last meeting. And, yeah, with that, entertain a motion on this item.
I would move forward to staff's recommendation to implement this program.
Second?
Thank you. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign, and motion carries. All right, brings us to our last item, oversizing and extension of water main, sanitary mains, Voyager Heights. And I think, Engineer Dean.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So staff has been working with Keepers Construction on the Voyager Heights proposed development, which is going to get discussed a little bit further later in this council agenda. Staff's been reviewing the proposed future publicly owned utilities and infrastructure. In addition, there's an opportunity to explore options to provide expansion, oversizing, and extension of the proposed utility infrastructure to accommodate future potential developments on adjacent properties. So included in the agenda item is a description of those proposed recommendations for oversizing and extension of water and sanitary sewer to include with the Keepers Construction project. So to just quick summarize, the recommendation includes an estimated about $150,000 of water main upgrades and $115,000 of sanitary sewer upgrades. To clarify further, it is estimated that the city is going to receive $159,600 and $216,600 in whack and sack charges respectively. So the proposed upgrades could be accomplished using the whack and sack charges received from this individual project and not any other future phases. This matter was discussed at the last Utilities Commission meeting, and they did approve the utilization of these funds for the water main oversizing and extension, as well as the oversizing of the sanitary sewer lift station and force main. Staff is recommending council approve of the oversizing plan for the Voyager Heights project and to further authorize use of the appropriate whack and sack fees to cover the expenses.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Jesse. Bring it back to committee for questions, comments, or discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know this is all oversizing. Do we have any extension of services on this, or is that perhaps the reason for this is to, in the future, for extension, right?
I'll let Paul jump on that one.
Yeah, so Jeff, as a part of the process, we've been looking at our water model over at Public Utilities, and we brought this conversation point up early with Keepers about the potential to extend the water main further down Greenwood Street, south down Greenwood Street from the intersection of what the new Voyagers Drive would be all the way down to Highway 371B. And that is to set us up in the future to loop in the system from the intersection of Greenwood Street and 371B over to Andrew Street. And we've attached some of the snips from our water modeling exercise. If we get that loop completed down to the Andrew Street area, we significantly increase our fire flows in the Andrew Street area. And also gets rid of multiple dead end lines currently existing in this South Brainerd portion of town. With that, we also looked at future capital improvement projects on streets like Ridge Drive South and Crestview Lane that currently have 2 dead-end water mains. In order to completely loop this system with any future capital improvement project, we would propose looping in Ridge Drive and Crestview Lane and Woodland Hills Lane into the 12-inch water main on Greenwood Street. So we have a fully looped and redundant system in this area that provides adequate fire flow to these neighborhoods.
Have we had any issue with people having water, what do you call?
Poor water quality.
Yeah, water quality.
This area of town doesn't see a lot of poor water quality. We did a directional flushing contract with SEH to look at our water model and start looking at how we can bring fresh water into our dead-end mains in town. That has helped a lot. Our water distribution staff regularly flush mains. This area of town, we haven't seen some of the water quality issues that we may see like in the northeast Brainerd of town. And so we're continually working on that, but this south end of town doesn't have a ton of water quality issues that we've noticed. Really where we're seeing the deficiencies are both on the redundancy side and on the fire flows, especially in that Andrew Street area.
Okay, but looping it does avoid, pretty much take away the quality issues if there ever are.
Correct.
Okay, that's all I got, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. Councilman Yeager.
Thank you. This seems like a no-brainer to me, which kind of makes me nervous. I was just always nervous at no-brainers, but is our only exposure to risk the point that we could potentially put this in and just never use it? Is that really our only risk here?
I would say for the oversizing, yes, but the extension down Greenwood Street, I would say there's only benefits to that because we really need to loop in our water main system to that Andrew Street area. We've seen the model results and it's pretty substantial.
Okay.
And that's been a need for a long time on the south end of town. And so this project gives us a funding mechanism and taking advantage of not only their economies of scale and adding on to their project to drive our prices down.
Yep, understood. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Sounds good. Yeah, I don't have questions on this, just, just to add on to what you've said there, the opportunity of this project to have the foresight to do this planning and set us up for the future, I think is just phenomenal, so.
Yeah.
One other question, if I may?
Yes, sir.
So when we talk about sack and whack, then this is especially, I don't know, maybe specifically is how this is, sack and whack is generally used for this type of project, right? Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dean.
That, hearing no other questions, entertain a motion on this item.
I would move to approve, Mr. Chair.
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same sign, and motion carries. That brings us to the end of our committee meeting, and we will adjourn.